You want to take us in, Nito? We should go in together.
I'm sorry. I thought the audience needed a good headshot of me, so I decided to give them about 5 to 10 seconds of me.
I respect
But you're
that.
about to get a couple more hours of CCA action as we start the CCA Circuit Qualifier. This is the first of many, and this is the first match of many as well. We got Splatlanders going against the Titans of Alterna. It was actually a Division 2 playoff rematch of last season. I'm Nito. All right, alongside me is going to be Cactus on this that side, but the opposite.
That's right. Hello, everyone. My name is Cactus. I will be joined with Nito on this CCA Circuit Qualifier number 1. As Nito said, we're going to have a great match for you on our hands. Splatlanders versus Titans Alterna. So, Nito, tell me a little bit more about them. You said this is pretty much a rematch?
Absolutely. This was a rematch of what we saw during the first round of Div 2 playoffs. Splatlanders took on the Titans of Alterna, the orange team. And Splatlanders, as we know, won the Division 2 playoffs. So they're moving on into Division 1, which is what we're currently seeing right now. In the circuit qualifier, every team is going to be positioned based on where they were last season and based on recent results they've gotten. So Splatlanders putting themselves in Division 1, they're finally going to get a taste of Division 1 top of the line action here, and so is Titans of Alterna. Just both of these teams getting ready to show off what they've learned coming this far.
Absolutely, and something as myself coming outside from just the normal competitive scene, being able to see these college teams go against each other, is you have these players that are fighting for it all, right? A completely separate division that's outside of your normal Eludi division. These teams have put in the incredible amount of work to get this far. And of course, today, they're going to want to put out all of these stops. Every game is going to count. You want to make sure you're not slipping up once. And both these teams are familiar with each other a little bit, as Nito was mentioning to us before. So they're going to have a little bit of an idea of what these teams might be bringing out against each other and how they might want to go at this going forward.
Right, and like I said, with the way the CCA circuit works, each tournament will have 4 smaller divisions 1 through 4. Again, they're being placed based on how they've been doing in recent times and taking into account previous seasons. So what you're seeing right now is the group that Splatlanders and the Titans of Alterna are including other Div 1 standouts. You'll see George Mason University in there, the Patriots team. You'll see Texas A&M. They showed up very strongly at the recent entrance exam. We see Red Embers as well. Lots of old and new teams coming into Division 1. We're going to see what they bring to the table as we go towards the first set of this tournament.
Alrighty, I'm loving the comps. I'm looking at the uniqueness that we see. Splatlanders pulling out with a vanilla roller that's going to have Bobble on the field. You do see also a Tenebrella that is the one with Azuka on its side. On the side of Titans of Alterna, I love seeing a Hydra and a big swig as well. Big fight going on the side here by Cyan, being able to pick off Korn. Unfortunately, getting the beam side of that Hydra, taking them out right away. But it will be Splatlanders grabbing that Rainmaker first.
And that is a quick move by the Splatlanders. They are known for their... CCA is definitely going to have some more variety into it. You do have a mix of experienced players along with some newer players who are starting to get into Splatoon, figuring things out. But like I said earlier, this is Division 1 now. We are starting to see the best of the best from both teams, and they are going to bring out the best from both teams, as we see Chris trading a pick there with Embry from Titans of Alterna. Titans of Alterna trying to make this jump across towards an imposing spinner, but so far neither team able to get a solid lead here. Only about 92 remaining for Titans of Alterna. Expected to change really soon here, especially with these specials coming out. Or maybe not.
Yeah, it's huge wipeout on the field. Splatlanders is going to waste no time rushing that forward. That's going to be a lead swap. This might also be a checkpoint. Yes, it is. And they're not slowing down, Nito. Splatlanders already looking at another wipeout practically onto Titans of Alterna. And they're going to look to push this Rainmaker even further with that tent shield.
And to Splatlanders haven't slowed down one bit. I mean, look at that. Just barely missing out on that reef slider is Titans of Alterna. Splatlanders driving it up to 28 remaining. But my goodness, the Splatlanders picking up right where they left off. Titans of Alterna, no responses yet. In fact, that last push that they had just faltered. It faltered in that they weren't able to get anything solid off the ground, especially with how aggressive Splatlanders were and how aggressive they continue to be. That may have been either the
Oh.
stamper, the hammer, or the roller. I can't really tell, but my goodness, Cyan and Jerry, they're teaming up for an excellent pick.
Yeah, right before the checkpoint too, most of Splatlanders were behind that Rainmaker as it looked to be a free checkpoint just to get canceled out by a combo of that roller and that stamp. Now it's going to be the Rainmaker resetting here. Splatlanders has a great control of mid still with two specials on the line. Make that three as they are currently using the vac to try to take some more space. Here we're going to see Avery going in, trying to get this checkpoint, but it's not enough. Their team's not around. It's going to be Splatlanders holding it further.
Here's the problem. Splatlanders are working very well together. Whether it be apparent from that last pick we saw from Cyan and Jerry from Splatlanders and how well they're able to coordinate these pushes together. The Splatlanders are working so well together that the Titans of Alterna, they're taking too many individual risks here. We see Ampri and the Hydra go down from the side of Alterna. There's another one going down, Corn actually with the pick there. But Titans of Alterna, they're not working as closely together as they should be. That's causing them to stagger. That's causing them to lose more. That's causing them to get picked off one by one, and that's slowing them down. The Splatlanders working very well here, but did you see one roller getting picked off here? A minute to 40 to go. Splatlanders holding a solid lead here. Titans of Alterna still looking to get something through.
Yeah, like you said, it's really showing right now the group just kind of togetherness, that synergy that we're going to see out of Splatlanders, not really fully here out of Titans of Alterna. It seems these players just keep trying to drive that Rainmaker forward as it just barely missed that. Unfortunately, Roller drops down, gets one, looking for another as well. Splatlanders are doing a great job at that synergy, being able to go off of each other's plays, playing more as one unit. As Titans of Alterna haven't found their footing just yet, struggling to have to stop this Rainmaker from going past even further. We are going to see Ambry again in the front, trying to find a pick with this big swing. Playing the smart move here, backing up, being able to build up that back, trying to live out these Rainmaker shots. As they're above, they get one, they're looking for another. Can they get it? No!
Oh, that could have been very dangerous. The Splatlanders Titans of Alterna has a pretty solid player in Ampri here too. Acknowledging the situation, knowing you just have to keep that high ground, that big swig will be able to take care of any ledge that comes across. So Titans of Alterna doing it, do have some individual skill there. Unfortunately, it's not coming to fruition just yet. Splatlanders still holding this Rainmaker deep in enemy territory, already at the spinner, but one of Splat goes down. There's the tent going down, which is a key tool that the Splatlanders have. We'll see how Titans of Alterna can respond here. With about 15 seconds left, they have about one more push if they can get that Rainmaker in.
One push in a dream, and that dream might be crushed as Cyan gets one down. That's going to be the wiper. Booyah Bomb was popped, but goes down to Jerry with the stamp. Stamp is thrown. Clock's counting down. Not enough time to do anything. Not enough players on the field. Splatlanders are going to secure game number one, and pretty strongly at that.
Well, welcome to Division 1 Titans of Alterna. You get to meet your... You get to basically meet your nemesis here as Splatlanders comes back with the rematch, starting almost exactly where they left off, 1-0 now for Splatlanders. But it's almost the story of Splatlanders being so well doing so well throughout this whole game to keep Titans of Alterna on the back foot here, ensuring that there was just nothing for them to respond with. I mean, you look at over here, there's 3 players currently focused on one of Splat and Jerry. That's enough for Lagoon to make a way up, but there's going to be the roller coming on the top of your screen. Cyan and Jerry there. I'm still not sure who gets the pick here, but just the way they're dividing attention, the way Splatlanders is playing, and the way their game awareness is just coming in so well here.
Yeah, they recognized that Rainmaker was just rushing on forward, and they had a great double team to get that out from both sides, front and behind. I mean, one more look at it again. Jerry gets down. Ampri throws that hammer to secure some more damage along with Cyan. So, I mean, beautiful play there. And that entire game overall, right? Splatlanders had a great job at holding their footing. They had good positioning. They were able to take more space than they were fighting for and hold mid pretty convincingly there. That Titans of Alterna just had a struggle just finding that extra footing, those couple picks that they needed to make their own momentum.
So now we're going to head into round 2, or game 2 of round 1. It's going to be Clan Blitz on Inkblot Art Academy. This time, it is, or I should mention first, this is play all 3 for the Swiss rounds, so we will be going to a game 3 no matter what, but that does mean every set counts. That is what I like about play all 3, is that no matter how you lose, it actually does matter how you lose, because a 2-1 loss may just be the difference, may just make a difference compared to like a 3-0 loss.
Yeah, every game's going to count. You want to be able to place as well as you can, take as many games as possible. And Titans of Alterna is looking to hopefully tie the score in this next match. I mean, I believe their comp has the ability to do it, like you said, on this map mode combo we're going to be going into. But Splatlanders as well, I mean, their comp's just pretty aggressive. They have players that can go in and shark, especially Cyan on that roller. There were a couple times that Titans of Alterna weren't able to really find them or lose track of them, and they're going 1 to 2 players down. And that's the last thing you want to be having happen to you.
Absolutely. This I believe has to be a learning curve for Titans of Alterna. At this point, you're wondering what went wrong. I would say you need to just look at where your players were throughout that match, because as I mentioned during that replay, your players have attention where perhaps it should be, perhaps it shouldn't be. You just got to know when it should be. You should have attention on the objective or an opponent right next to you, because sometimes that makes a difference on whether or not that push is going to be any effective or not. So it's always a good thing to have these game ones, because you can drop a few sets, and even this being a round 1, you can drop a few, like a game or 2, but then after that it's just fine-tuning, making sure what works best and applying it to the next round, even the next game. We'll see how Titans of Alterna applies it here.
Yeah, especially on Clam Blitz and here in Inkblot, where Clam Economy is going to be the name of the game. I love the change up here. We're going to see Nautilus with Splashdown and the Gold Dynamo with Chumps, and I believe that's also a Paintbrush. This feels like a complete comp change coming out of the Titans of Alterna.
Okay, I like it actually. So the way Ampri was playing earlier, Ampri was playing, I don't want to say passive, but this Dynamo almost allows them to play to the same playstyle I was seeing from that big swig. So sacrifice mobility, but you also get lots of firing power. I mean, that is one swing of the Dynamo and all opponents in front of you are quickly gone. So I like what Titans of Alterna, what the changes they're making here that might enable them to play together more, but there's already 2 players down for Splatlanders. Titans of Alterna still looking for a way in, but now they've got 2 players down. That's going to make things a little bit more difficult, forcing their team to back up here.
Yeah, I mean, that was a complete change of pace out of Titans of Alterna, right? I mean, they did an incredible job at rushing so fast forward, but now they're a little bit on that back foot, and this is going to be really important to see how they can come out of this. They have weapons that can do a good job at it. We are going to see Ampri here on the Dynamo holding this right side. Now we're going to see the Crab come on out. Unfortunately, they canceled out by some strikes or Azuka. Ampri trying to hold on their own. They're going to get picked off by Cyan. Cyan's going to be looking to go on more and forward, hoping that no other players are coming for that power clam. Splatlanders being a little bit more aggressive here, looking to see if they can find an opportunity to go on to that plat. Splashdown comes out though, tries to find a player, none found. Bubble goes up. This might be time to push for Splatlanders, but no, one goes down.
In Titans of Alterna and Splatlanders, I think the biggest difference you're going to see in this matchup is the way every player is positioned. So you look at Splatlanders right now, they've already got one player creeping their way up on that near the ramp Corn's at right now. You saw the way they're starting to sneak players up. They're using that tent to enable people in, to get people in. I like what Splatlanders is doing. Titans of Alterna just don't have as many people as they should have making their way up. I want to see more from these duelists here. But look at how Lagoon's playing. That is going to be a start to get things or to get people forward. But Splatlanders already getting 3 players down now. That is very quick. I mean, I just talked for a while, and all of a sudden 3 players are down for Titans of Alterna. Splatlanders doing very well here.
Yes, Splatlanders had a great momentum they were riding with, being able to get 3 players down on Titans of Alterna and push on in. Now with Titans of Alterna finally canceling that push, it's going to be the back foot once again, though, because Splatlanders are doing a great job at holding mid. Want to spot on the end there, being able to hold the tent. 3 players on the right side, building up that clam economy, looking to push in. And just look at all these players kind of held back. Mid is practically free for Titans of Alterna to start pushing in just a little bit. But 1 player, and that's Wanna Splat, holding them back on the ramp. They're diving in on their plat, but they go down just barely. And it's going to be Chris hopping on in here, getting rid of the dualies, and now it's a 3v2 on the board.
Splatlanders, again, picking up almost exactly where they left off. Splatlanders leaving no chance for Titans of Alterna to make their way in, as we see Pinecone here attempting a pick or so, or trying to at least shred the tent. But Splatlanders have already got a power clam in. There is one penalty point, so they haven't scored yet. But Chris going around the side here, nobody has spotted them just yet. Pinecone able to get the pick off there. But Splatlanders adding more points to their tally. This is impressive work from Splatlanders. And seeing how Titans of Alterna can respond here. They need to respond here, in fact.
Yeah, they do, and this might be their opportunity. The crab comes on out, but their dynamo goes down. Penguin's got to try to stay alive here as Cyan's going to try to get a pick here. They will pinch them out. It's Chris, though, rushing the Nautilus, and one goes down. Chris gets picked off, though they barely pick up that power clam in time, trying to hold it together. They have a 3 power clam push ready to go. Missiles are going to be locked and loaded. 3 players selected. This is the push that they're looking to go for, and they got to go in for it. But I don't think Lagoon saw Cyan from behind. Lagoon's going in for a flank. Can they find it in time? But Cyan finds 2,
no.
And no one's ready to jump except for 1 player.
Oh, those 3 power clams would have been enough for the lead, but there's no one there to pick up the power clams. Those are gone now. There are no power clams for them to, or no overall clams for them to follow up with, and every player near that basket has gone down. They may have one more push. They need to get a power clam in soon, and they do have enough time for it. They almost have enough clams for it as well. But oh my goodness, if that had worked, Lagoon had the vision there, and it almost worked out very well for the Titans of Alterna. Splatlanders still holding on strong here, but if Splatlanders has a power clam, they still have an opportunity to get themselves into the lead. 3 seconds to go. They do have a power clam. This will be going to overtime.
Overtime begins. Can any players find their way in? Pinecone finds one. Corn is on the side with them, but that's on the defensive end. We see a very strong defense from Splatlanders. 2 players go down, but Azuka is going to take another one out. This is it. They have to try to push, but with strikes coming out, that's going to be the game. Splatlanders securing another game for them. 2-0, winning them the set.
Ooh, okay. There's a lot. Now, I mean, it doesn't look like it, right? I mean, this match, we saw Splatlanders basically take over mid, and from there, it was very hard for Titans of Alterna to make their way in. I like that Titans of Alterna actually were taking some risks here, making some moves, trying to get something started. I like the moves that Lagoon makes here, especially with this power clam. Unfortunately, there just isn't the 2 power clams necessary to make this a game-winning push, but they are starting to take more risk here. I know that Lagoon managed to find a hole in Splatlanders' defense there, just snuck their way in, so I like that Titans of Alterna are starting to take more risks, and I hope we see more of it in Game 3.
Yeah, I mean, that was an incredible play. That there should have been the call-up for all players to jump on back, even if it was just one at a time for a massive push, but it just wasn't available for them. I feel like they were aiming to do that on the side, but Cyan going on in, getting those picks was huge. It was such a clutch play. That flank, it happened to them. They're hoping to do it back. It just wasn't enough. And now, that might be the set for Splatlanders, but Titans of Alterna could still take this next game because it is a play all 3 here. So they're going to be looking to at least secure 1 game win, and I feel they have the needs to do it. They just have to find that opportunity. As they found the slip through the cracks once, sure they could do it again.
Anytime there is a Swiss group stage, anytime you have a play all 3 situation, you have to take it 1 game at a time, and that is what I hope Titans of Alterna are doing. I mean, it looked a little dangerous for them in Game 2, but Game 3, you have to start thinking about how Lagoon is able to sneak by, and how any risk that you take just needs to have a little more coordination behind it. I think that if Lagoon asks for those 2 power clams to at least stay alive, just make sure you are sticking together, make sure you are make sure no 1v1 turns into a 1v2, and that can work out very well. They do have glimpses of hope there, and I hope they bring it into Game 3 here.
Absolutely. That was a little bit of a slimmer of hope they had in that second game. They had some pretty strong defense once they were able to select those few players that were going in. And right now, those players are Cyan, and also you have, I believe it was Wanna Splat. I mean, take those players out, you're looking at a pretty good attempt to push in, because that's that main frontline and defensive players that are going to give you the hardest time. And that's what happened in the first game as well. When Cyan was shirking the whole time on that Remaker game, it was hard for them to find that footing to push forward. Second game as well, they just had to keep the pressure up. So here we go. Game number 3. We're already some comp changes going into tower control on Barnacle and Dime.
And we're starting to see the Neo Splash coming out from Titans of Alterna. So Ampri went from Big Swig to Golden Dynamo. Now we're at the Neo Splash. That's going to give some tri-strikes. That gives you more leverage when it comes to pushes. So maybe swapping out the Super Chumps for those tri-strikes needs something a little more aggressive here. Splatlanders opting for more of the same. We actually, the tent has stepped out and now exchanged it for, I believe that is a recycled Brella coming out. So that's an interesting pick. I do like to see more of it. What do you think?
I mean, it's definitely an interesting pick. I believe that actually, isn't that the Sorella? Yeah, Sorella with Inkjet!
Oh, it is.
That's right. And Inkjet fired away, gets one, looking for another. Are they finding a second on Corn? And that's going to be close to a delayed wipeout for Splatlanders now pushing this tower forward. I love the pick, right? It allows them to be a little bit more aggressive, and even though they're playing a little bit more for that tower ride, it's still a great weapon, especially with that Inkjet to poke up on far ledges that some players can't really reach without getting picked off. And right now, I don't think they have a problem worrying about that, Nito, because look at this momentum they have.
Amber here going to pop a few tri-strikes to try to get Splatlanders up, but Splatlanders keep going here. This is a tremendous change. Like you said, it gives them some more space to take care of those ledges. But my goodness, Splatlanders going back to where they were in that earlier set. Nice pick off from Ampri there. Cyan is able to get there. But still in enemy territory is this tower. Titans of Alterna, no responses yet, but they've been able to slow down Splatlanders just a little bit more now. Now they're starting to trade a few picks, making these fights more competitive between them and Splatlanders.
Splatlanders are doing an excellent job getting pick after pick, holding these positions here, looking at the players coming at them. Jerry somehow sneaking away, being able to jump on out. There is going to be a jump on in. It's going to be Wanna Splat with that Brella being able to barely stay alive. They couldn't get a pick to go with it as well. Finally, Titans of Alterna have an opportunity to play more than just strong defense. They're going to try to push this tower even a little bit more forward, as they are going to get Jerry down. That's going to be no cooler at the ready for Splatlanders.
Pinecone now taking the tower for Splatlanders. There are some tri-strikes. They're going to force them to back up a little for a short amount of time. But this is Titans of Alterna's moment to show what adjustments they made and how they're going to help. Corn already getting 2 picks off the 2 players of Splatlanders. Jerry being forced to back up here due to heavy pressure from Pinecone. Jerry and Cyan now forced to stay back, forced to stay retreated here. But Titans of Alterna now starting to flip the script here until Amber goes down to a bomb on this tower there. Can they clear this checkpoint? No, they will not. Want to Splat, pushing them off the tower for now.
That was a pretty great push by Titans of Alterna. They found the opportunity and they rolled with it, able to get a little bit of a stagger on the Splatlanders, but they came back strong, getting rid of the Tower Rider first to stop that tower's momentum. The other players having to die for it and just kind of collapsing on them. Cyan getting stuck on this tower wall, trying to push on forward, gets picked off by the strikes. Pinecone now applying, getting ready with those missiles to apply pressure. Unfortunately, the Nautilus will go down for Titans of Alterna. We do see Pinecone up top. Can they get picked off or get a pick? What will happen? They will barely survive that. They're trying to ride through this next checkpoint. Opera trying to stay alive. It's a 2v2 on the map right now, Nito. And that's going to be the checkpoint clear. We might see a change of pace here for Titans of Alterna, but no. It's just Corn alive. Jumps were coming on in, but all of the members of Splatlanders are up.
Oh, Corn unable to protect those 2 jumps. Those would have been nice to have covered up, but Corn is currently surrounded by 3 players. It's going to be pretty difficult there. But Splatlanders getting themselves back in the mix with a minute to go. Titans of Alterna, though, this is a very noticeable switch up from what they've been doing earlier. What Titans of Alterna is doing now is, since they have a more mobile lineup, since they have more mobility and still have that leverage with the tri-strikes, they're able to match the pace of Splatlanders and able to say, here, since you're doing this, we're going to do it too. And if you can catch up, then that's fine. But if you can't, then we're going to take advantage of that as well. So here we see Mona Splat bring it to 8 remaining. Very close here to a KO, but not quite. 30 seconds to go, and Titans of Alterna still able to contest the tower.
Yeah, and just in the nick of time as well, they had players distracted on the side trying to get that bubble and players coming into it, and that allowed them to push it so far up. Now, with Splatlanders getting kind of shoved out of here, right? They're getting pushed past mid as Titans of Alterna is trying to take space. With the final 10 seconds going down, the crab will be popped along with the inkjet. Inkjet gets canceled. They're going to start using their strikes to ride this through forward. Will anybody be able to grab the tower in time, or is it Splatlanders going to get on it and hold it? They will! Splatlanders secure game number 3 as well.
And that, chat and viewers, and everyone seeing this, is what we call GG strikes. That is a textbook. That is the textbook example of GG strikes. Splatlanders able to clear off the tower, get somebody on, and that is enough to secure game 3 and the rest of the set. They will be joining a few teams that already have a 3-0 in the same group. Old Bay Brigade going to 3-0 against Texas A&M Maroon, and we're still waiting a result from Red Embers and FSU Garnet. But Splatlanders doing exactly what they did a few months ago in the CCA League and taking Titans of Alterna down very quickly here.
Yeah, I mean, Splatlanders had a strong momentum, and I know they are excited to start off their first set like that. 3-0 in the play all 3. And Titans of Alterna, though, had a very strong push at multiple times. They were, in the beginning, it looked pretty scary, right? They were in a pretty dangerous defensive hold, getting all the way down. I believe the first score was about 20, but they were able to bounce it back. They were able to come back on, pushing forward and push it down to 44, and putting Splatlanders a bit on the back of their toes, right? Back their heels. They were struggling a little bit, but they found their footing, pushed it all the way back to 8. Splatlanders secured that W.
Absolutely. This is still, that 3-0 is still very much important because the third game is going to count towards the circuit leaderboards, and that is something all of these teams are going to want to keep track of. Remember that these small little tournaments are all qualifiers. They are all going to be leading up to a big event. Once we're done with all these qualifiers, we're going to be putting every single team that's done well in one more event. But right now, all these teams are going to be focusing on is, even if this doesn't go well for you in the group stage, there's always another tournament. There's always another qualifier. And most importantly, if it is going well for you, you got to keep it up, because the more points you accrue right now, the more it's going to that's more that's going to cash in well later.
Absolutely. This is not your only opportunity to try and push and go forward to secure your spot. There will be plenty of other opportunities. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Nito, there's 4 opportunities in total for a chance to qualify in order to...
5. There's 5 opportunities.
5 opportunities. Thank you, Nito, for the correction on your wonderful hand math. 5 opportunities. If one doesn't work, you have 4 other chances. And Splatlanders hoping to maybe bring it all today off of a great first win. But again, a couple more matches to come on up for these players to try to find their way back in.
Absolutely. There is always going to be another opportunity for them to get some more points on the board. And that's for us. There's always going to be more opportunities to get some commentary in. But for us, there's currently an opportunity to get a break in, and we're going to take that. So don't change the channel. We'll be right back with some more CCA Circuit qualifier action on the other side of this break. So stay tuned.
start falling, 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 'cause we'll start falling. Yeah, we said we let it go, but we settled for the last. Couldn't let you want it though. Who am I to let you down? No, who am I to let you down, down, down?
Quick, what are your two favorite states in the United States? If it's West Virginia and New Jersey, this is the match for you. Bobble Hat Gang from West Virginia University, taking on Turnpike from New Jersey Institute of Technology. I'm Nito. That over there is probably Cactus if I'm pointing in the right direction. And we are here to take you to round 2 of Swiss.
That's right, Nito, and you pointed in the correct direction. Turnpike versus Bobble Hat Gang, coming off of their round 1 matches. Bobble Hat Gang getting a 3-0 victory against Coastal Booyah Basins, and then you have Turnpike off of a 2-1 victory against Cut the Hook. One a little more close than the other, at least that's what the score shows to report. But yeah, as Nito said, these two teams are going to be going in for our second round of a Swiss, both coming off of a win and wanting to continue that win, hoping for another back-to-back set win.
So, as I said earlier, both of these teams are put in this division, basically taking into account everything they've done within the last few months. Recent results are taken into account whenever we put teams in these positions. So, looking at Bobble Hat Gang, they were in Division 3 last year. I believe they finished 2-3 or somewhere around. I'm doing great, by the way. Yes, 2-3 last season in Division 3. So you're gonna stay comfy in Division 3, and Turnpike is not making me cough. Actually, Turnpike is going into Division 3. Are actually coming into this match, like you said, 2-1 win against Cut the Hook, which I believe. I don't know. It's funny because these teams always change names, so I'm going to find out very quickly. I know it's New Jersey Institute of Technology. Turnpike is a new name to me, so my mind is immediately broken, but we're going to go ahead and go into game 1.
Yeah, game 1 starting off strong with some interesting looking comps. I do love the Explosher coming out of Bobble Hat Gang. And on the side of Turnpike, we do see the Vanilla Splat Charger. Interesting choice here as well for splat zones on Hagglefish. Paint's going to be the name of the game. Can you hold that zone longer than the other team? Great pick off by Sun there. A great snipe as 2 players go down. We are going to see these players trying to move on forward. Gabe trying to poke for this 1v1, going to strike this player out and then some. As Stormcoder is going to hold forward here, hold this ledge. We are going to see a pretty strong first push hold for Turnpike. And a solid machine direct there.
Oh, I'm loving the scrappiness from Stormcoder here, using the aggression using actually the range that flushing machine provides its users to be able to take out that explosion before going down themselves. But Turnpike able to respond actually Bobble Hat Gang able to respond very quickly there, taking control of the zone by themselves, at least putting some penalty points on the board, making sure Turnpike is slowed down for just a little while longer. But Turnpike now currently trying to get control of the zone back. They're still trying to figure things out with Bobble Hat Gang. I believe now they have the ability to get back into get back into control of the zone.
Yeah, I mean, Turnpike is fighting for that hold back. It's been stalled out for at least 20 seconds, but a splashdown and a hammer will take it on out, and that's going to be a delayed wipeout onto Turnpike. Now Bubble Hat Gang has a very strong hold, no penalty points to stop them. They're going to try to take this lead back.
Oh, Storm and Zephyr is there in another 1v1 yet again. Coder, though, Storm able to take 2 players out before going down themselves. Bubble Hat Gang, though, able to almost get control of the zone, but Turnpike able to take control back, maintaining that lead. But Bubble Hat Gang coming in, all guns blazing almost. Actually, both teams coming in all guns blazing. You see Gabe here already going around the side. Both of these teams playing with utmost urgency, utmost aggression too. And I love seeing that from these teams.
Yeah, you love to see this aggression that all teams are bringing to the table. They know how important that this round is going to be and what they're fighting for, especially off of a round 1 win that they both have. Splashdown comes out from the Expo trying to get a pick, but Storm from behind gets a solid pick on them, and that's going to be penalty points over for Turnpike, counting down some real points here, furthering their lead. Down goes Gabe. Stormcoder being as aggressive as ever, getting one, trying to find another on the top there as players are just throwing what they have on Bobble Hat Gang to get that zone, and they will. Stormcoder still alive from behind though. Booyahs installs it out as they're just being so aggressive and holding so strong. Can they at least get a trade here? Will they go down? They will go down.
Alright, Cactus, correct me if I'm wrong here, but that looks like Storm is using stick controls. It looks like stick controls. And it's so cool to see how mechanically capable some of these players are, as we see the stamp or the wiper from Bubble Hat Gang get a triple with the hammer there. But as I was saying, it's hard to see that level of mechanic ability from a 6 player just with the restrictions that it comes with. So seeing Stormcoder doing as much as they are right now is so great to see. But Bubble Hat Gang is currently the team I should be talking about because they've taken control of the lead and they've already got 2 players down.
That's right, Nito. Jumps are coming on in. Booyah Bomb is under lock. They're going to pop the ink back here as well to try to launch this too. They're still in the zone. They are going to be able to cap it just in the nick of time before more points could count on out. We do see some specials popping on the side of Bubble Hat Gang, but it's going to be the hammer getting canceled. And now they're in a 2-player disadvantage. Gabe is holding forward now. It is just the T-Tech alive. Can they get them? No, it is not that longer of a range on the splash. Strikes will be picked off, and Gabe's now the one holding forward. They're going to try to find one. They will. Can they find another? They're going to drop one down. Gabe is a menace looking for a pick. It's going to be the machine helping them with that. It's just Spacer. Nito, the lead has swapped around. They have to go and form a play now if they want to chance this game.
And it's all going to start with the Viper, who already got a triple earlier in the game, but they go down. Turnpike has spotted that the New Jersey natives are going to take game 1 of round 2 in... Wow, that a complete change of the script from what we saw last game. Now both of these teams, with more energies than ever, are getting... They're just going at it.
I gotta say that, like you mentioned earlier, Nito, what a scrap match that we had there. Individual players from both sides diving in forward. As we take a look at some of these replays here, I mean, just look at this aggression from Gabe from before, holding on to players here, barely staying alive with their special as they are able to get the wiper down with some help. Fortunately, down will go the junior here from the Expo. I mean, just a lot of the aggression, and Storm with the flank coming all the way around to get the Explo, which is what their priority target because of how much range it had. I mean, that was an incredible play.
Storm knows something I don't, or you don't, or we don't, because Storm is. I like what I'm seeing from Storm. I'm not gonna lie, they're throwing bombs from the side, they're going for flanks with this sloshing machine. It seems like they know this weapon so well that they're just like, all right, well, I can do whatever I want. I know what I'm doing here, so I'm just gonna do whatever I want with this weapon, and we'll see if Bobble Gang can stop it. I like what I'm seeing from Turnpike so far. Bobble Hat Gang does have a right idea of what's going on here, and does have a right idea of how to take on Turnpike, but Bobble Hat Gang currently down by 1 game. We're going to move on to the Rainmaker Crab Lake Capital. We're going to see how both of these teams, or what most of these teams bring to the table there.
Yeah, and honestly, this is a great map for either team. A Bobble Hat Gang pulling out that Explo can be a menace here on grades, especially if you're able to push for that Rainmaker checkpoint. Once you get it across, Splashdown can be pretty dangerous if you allow that Explo to cross on over to that little block onto your plat with those extra fits that it comes down because of the triple splashdown. And looking at the other side too, if they decide to stick Charger, no one's safe on those grates. If that Charger has a lock on you, you gotta be careful, but also your ledges as well. Wiper does a great job at holding those ledges, being able to ledge poke you, make you have to adjust your positioning and not be where you want to be. I mean, right now, Turnpike is in the advantage, right? They have 1 game up against Bobble Hat Gang, and might I say, barely. Bobble Hat Gang gave them such an incredible first match that they cannot take them easy. Again, both of these teams coming off of that first win of the first round. Be that Bobble Hat Gang was at a 3-0 win. Turnpike had originally lost 1 game, but that didn't stop them, and it's clear that doesn't bother them at all here. And going right into the next game, is that a Wellstring and a Jet Squelcher?
Hold on. Okay. Let him cook. Let him cook. I like the Wellstring cook. I like the Wellstring pick because that means they're still going to be able to cover those grates, but now with the Wellstring, it has that little explosion, little blew up at the end there. That causes more damage that allows Bobble Hat Gang to take advantage of some chip damage. And here we go, Stormcorder again going for the side flank there. Gabe with Izu. Izu wins that fight, and Inkplot able to get the fight there, but my goodness, I like what both of these teams are coming out with straight out the gate. Stormcorder doing what works out so well in that first set, and just being all out aggressive with this sloshing machine.
Yeah, I mean, they're holding so much space. They're rushing forward. Look how fast they have to be running run speed up. There's no way they're not. I mean, just look at this pure aggression. And I think I see finally what you mean, Nato, about the potential stick controls. I mean, first of all, it's only the Rainmaker alive, barely holding on, getting down to 36. That's a full wipeout. Players are all down on Turnpike. Bobble Hat Gang now looking for that reset. Izu is going to have the splashdown dualies, which was different. And I just love the role change up too from Turnpike as well. Having Gabe swap to a longer range, more mid to backline weapon from Splash. I mean, these players are so diverse in what they can play. You love to see it. That's going to be that push over though for Bobble Hat Gang as Turnpike's able to end it. Especially if they're still coming out. We're going to see Clown pop that Inkzuka trying to find a pick. Booyah Bomb will come up from Storm, be that in a tricky little corner. They're going to find the dualies in it, and Strikes will stall out. Clown's trying to go forward. Can they find it? No. Storm, once again, playing as aggressive as ever on this machine.
Oh, Storm, you are crazy. That is not something I would have expected from if you mentioned stick control sloshing machine. This is not the level of play I expect, but man, it is always a reward to see coming out from Turnpike as Bobble Hat Gang start to make the move towards the first checkpoint. No dice there for Bobble Hat Gang. Turnpike able to stop that, but my goodness, Turnpike coming in with nothing short of the best here. They should be able to clear this checkpoint out, but like you mentioned, the big weapon pools that these players have, not only that, but they also have the ability to know what all of these roles are going to be doing and what roles they're going to be taking as soon as they switch to the... Okay, hold on, Clown! The triple on Turnpike with the Inkzuka.
Yeah, I mean, that was incredible. I also just realized my microphone might have been connected to the wrong thing. Love my day one setups. Anyway, that was a crazy Zuka. We have the machine going for a quick double here. Sun's gonna go and try to push these players back. Again, as they're just relentless. Turnpike is constantly holding on, trying to push this Rainmaker forward, somehow dancing around his Inkblot, a player I haven't mentioned yet. Just try, maybe they're a fan of Inkblot Art Academy. Just try to push this Rainmaker forward. Can they find a pick with it? They will! Talk about a Rainmaker main, trying to push for this left side to stall for some more points as we have less than 2 minutes in the game.
Inkblot is always the number one choice for counterpick fans worldwide, but not only that, Turnpike is Inkblot's current pick to carry that Rainmaker, but my goodness, Turnpike is just doing, I mean, they're just clearing everything so well here, just as much as Cactus is able to clear the sound with the microphone due to that one mic issue. But a minute 30 to go. Both of these teams still trading a few picks here. Nothing concrete yet, but when you're Turnpike, all you need to do is keep pressure on the opposing team's territory, just like we're seeing here. Watch for Stormcoder. They're already creating some havoc with that sloshing machine. They're throwing bombs from right behind him. And it took him a while for him to notice, but Clown goes down. Spacer, they're able to clear it out. Bobblehead Gang has a minute to change the lead here.
Change the lead like I changed my settings with my Discord microphone. They're looking to push for this first checkpoint as they use the splashdown here, trying to hold. We are going to see Spacer going in with that zap. They are able to get the junior down, but a bomb takes them out. Rainmaker now is halted again. Every push that Bobblehead has had trying to push on forward, it has been halted by Turnpike, and Turnpike is playing this incredibly well. They are holding the space. They are playing the aggro players a great opportunities. This Booyah Bomb gets thrown from the back left, barely missing all of those players as Storm gets directed by the well string. Wave comes on out. It is a 3v4 on the map. Ooh. Now 2 players down. Nito, only 10 more seconds to go, and the Bobblehead still needs checkpoint.
Well, Inkblot, barely misses out on the jump there. They do go down by 1 player of Bobblehead Gang. Bobblehead Gang has 1 checkpoint to clear. Stormcoder nearly sneaks by there, but now it's up to these 3 players of Bobblehead Gang able to get to the checkpoint. They should be able to here. They do. There's only the well string now. Sun, and Sevig is going to be the fight to see here, but Sevig is able to clear that barrier. Coder now providing some pressure with these bombs. Inkblot, Coder, and Gabe providing lots of pressure here with these bombs. That's something I'd like to see. And Turnpike comes away from that match 2-0, leading the set.
I thought we were about to see the comeback of all time in only round 2. I mean, getting all those players down, but Sun was clutching up in a 2v1, takes down both of those players, and then we had the Wellstring take them out, but with all of those subs being thrown at it, from the toxicness to the splat bombs, I mean, it was just too much to bear. Bobblehead Gang couldn't go any further and lost the Rainmaker. Turnpike played this game so beautifully, though. I mean, just look at some of these replays here, right, where these players are positioned. I mean, they're holding so much space. I love that fight on the left side by Storm, and the Zuka that would secure 3 as they fall off the map. I mean, what a play. Just, you love to have good positioning with a special like that, where it just takes 1 shot and you secure yourself a practical team wipeout.
I don't know, it's really... I had something I had to talk about in mind, but all of a sudden my mind has gone blank. Here's a triple Clown, and then immediately says peace out. But I don't know, I like what I'm seeing from Turnpike here. Bobblehead Gang is the one coming in with all the Div 3 experience. Turnpike, though, turning it up more than just 1 notch against Bobblehead Gang with what they're able to bring into the table for this set. And it's really, it's really interesting to know just how well Turnpike is able to how well Turnpike is able to challenge a team like Bobblehead Gang, a team with lots of experience that we've seen in the past, but now Turnpike is just coming in and says, "Oh well, So do we.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that secured them the set win. That is 2-0. Turnpike is now looking at a two-round set streak on their end. Nito found the light, man. Nito, what's going on?
I found tower control ink blot. It's the light.
You're so right. You're so right. And we're going right into game number 3. Turnpike looking to secure a 3-0 victory. Bobble Hat Gang hoping to take at least one game off of them. I believe there's a Dynamo coming out now from Bobble Hat Gang. That is going to be their main defense. And I do see a vanilla splash. It's going to be a lot more of an aggro splash with that Ninja Squid. We could see some nice sharks, especially with that no RNG to worry about on the weapon. Just the short range. We could see a good opportunity for some great plays here. Considering we are on Clam Blitz for Umami.
This is certainly a Clam Blitz mode, and this is certainly an Umami stage. Cephalic is here in a bit of trouble with Stormcoder, but Stormcoder able to fight. Storm has been doing really well here throughout the rest of this match, but we're not talking about enough is how Turnpike has been coordinating these specials, how they've been coordinating these bomb pressures. I think it's just been working out so well for them, and that's what's causing them to have such effective pushes. I mean, for Turnpike has, in that earlier match, and especially near overtime, Turnpike was able to throw so many bombs towards those grates, and call it crab leg, call it bomb pressure, call it whatever you'd like, but Turnpike knows the assignment. Turnpike understands the assignment, and Turnpike always comes in with the A+ performance I believe every time. But so far, Bobble Hat Gang is actually doing a pretty good job here, being able to stifle Turnpike.
Yeah, I mean, Turnpike had a great push opportunity, but the defense on Bobble Hat Gang was just too good to get past. We do see the Dynamo playing a little bit more aggressive here. These players on Turnpike have a lot of clams, Nito. They have a 19 that they keep passing between each other because no one can figure out who wants to form that power clam. Finally, it's forms. Spacer gets one with the hammer, throws it, trying to find another, barely finds that on Gabe. It's going to be a 2v2 on the map as another player is respawning from Turnpike. Now that power clam will stay alive. Splash gets off of the field. Jumps come in for Bobble Hat Gang as now this Dynamo is trying to apply some great pressure here, holding this top mid, trying to find a pick on the top ropes, and it will get a trade against the Octoshot.
And here comes Inkbot trying to make a move, but they're currently facing, I believe, that was an Ink back, but now Clown goes around, actually. Inkbot in a bit of trouble here. If Clown can catch up, that would have been dangerous, but Inkblot's still able to hold strong. It's just Inkblot, though, next to that basket. Not able to get the Clam toward the basket. No scores yet going into the second half of the game, but that's just what we've come to know and see from this set, or at least from this match, too. It's actually a change from what we saw in the previous matches. No team has yet to score a point, which is a lot different because in those earlier matches, we saw both teams going back-to-back on lead changes, going back-to-back on zone control, on Rainmaker control. It was very back and forth, but now Bobble Hat Gang and Turnpike are just so competitive against one another that now it's just a bomb like that makes a difference, which Turnpike is able to finally score here.
Yeah, I mean, all that. What did you see that extract bounce off the clam basket as it lands to go through? I mean, that was incredible. Inkblood is going to pop Bubble here. It's just Storm on the machine. Can they find this picker? Jump out. They jump out smart with practically almost 7 clams to the name, 5 in total, actually. Probably close to a special. They got to stay up. But yeah, I mean, that's it though. It was a 1 power clam push, and honestly, you know, that might all this game could be based on how these teams are playing. 1 power clam might be the difference as they are getting some of these players down though on Turnpike. I might eat my words here. These players are all feeding in on the side. There's the last player there. Nito, this might be a lead swap going to Bobble Hat Gang.
And it's going to be, as we see Bobble Hat Gang getting a few more points on the board. Remember, this is play all 3, so a 2-1 loss is certainly going to be a little more hopeful than a 3-0 loss, and Bobble Hat Gang knows that very well. They've gone up to 53 remaining. It's already a triple, by the way, on Turnpike. Bobble Hat Gang doing what they can to make sure this push lasts, and this push is here to stay, but that basket's going to go back up. Turnpike has another opportunity here to get the lead with about just less than a minute to go.
Yeah, less than a minute right now. These players on Turnpike have to form a power clam, and they're going to want to try to apply a lot of pressure. Bubble feels a little popped early here, and right now you're seeing Turnpike pop these specials just to claim back mid, which right now they're doing a pretty good job at doing that. If they're able to get a couple more picks, they do get the Dynamo down. Crab will be popped. Doolies are behind, but Gabe knows and gets the call out and pops them out with their weapon. We're going to see Gabe applying a lot of forward aggression here, holding forward. Gabe has been playing really scrappy this game, holding space all on their own for their teammates to come on back. Nito, we're down to the final couple of seconds of the match, and with 3 specials online, no power clam formed yet. Turnpike is looking to try to bring this in as we're going to go into the last 20 seconds of overtime.
And now both teams have a power clam. Watch what both of these teams are going to be bringing out to the table here. We see Space already coming out with this stamp, but it goes down from Booyah from Coder. Who else but Coder for the wipeout as well? Just one more power clam seals the deal for Turnpike, and that was a huge pick for Turnpike. That hammer could have caused so much damage to Turnpike that pick was exactly what they needed.
I love the coordination through that, though. The Booyah to get rid of the stamp that was stuck on the wall. The ink vac that went ahead and applied that capability of taking that ink as you had Storm rushing on in. Yes, we got a clip of it. Thank you, Vapor, my goat. Oh man, look at this. Booyah Bob takes out the stamp. We have back on Storm as Storm gets one. Storm's like, I don't need a pick yet. Let me score. Gets another, and the vac gets a full wipeout. And that secured them the game as the perfect clams were scored there, or just on the dome by Gabe. That was textbook, Nito. That was textbook by Turnpike.
I gotta take a look at the ink vac positioning there. I mean,
that's just pretty far.
Yeah, look at that. That does hit. First of all, I think ink vac is ridiculous in how much range it has. So, that is just me admitting to possibly a skill issue, but like, ink vac goes way too far. Secondly, I like the positioning here because if this ink vac shot goes anywhere behind that block, this wipeout doesn't happen. Like, if it goes right in front of it, this push never happens.
And it was so close to getting launched off the map too because of that graded wall there. Just a little bit further and that shot was gone. But instead you end up with this. You end up with a perfect vac shot because it arcs down, lands, and gets the last 2 remaining players. You had a bubble there just in case if the vac even did miss. So regardless, Turnpike was prepared for any scenario to happen. If that ink vac missed, if maybe the bubble wasn't ready, like, just everything fell into place for them to take that 3-0.
I mean, we go from a 3-0 to a 3-0, but all of a sudden this 3-0, the other 3-0 we saw. So now I don't know what to think about 3. Turnpike just completely stuffs Bubble Hat Gang here in round 2. They're going to be moving on to round 3 with 2 wins on the board. One of them's a 2-1 and one of them's a 3-0. Whatever their next match is, they probably need to be tuning into this stream and watching what just happened because Turnpike is turning up the heat with the rest of Division 3, and I do want to see where they go from here. But what we're going to see, what you're going to see really soon, is that we're going to go to break because I keep coughing a lot. And I need to go to the coffee machine. Anyway, but when we come back, more CCA Circuit action. We're going to come in with round 3 now, coming into the latter half of this group stage. So don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with some more CCA action.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the CCA. I'm a cactus. See, it says it right there. And joining me is Nito. Hi, Nito.
I'm a Nito. It says right here. It doesn't actually say Nito. I kind of wish I had a cert that just said Nito, but it could be any font. I just want something that says Nito. But what it does say up here is Undertow Dartfish versus HLG Gold, the team from UC Riverside. So that means we got a match coming up for y'all.
Yeah, Nito, that we do. After an incredible set we just had prior from Turnpike winning that set 3-0. We've had back-to-back 3-0 sets on this stream. The next one being closer than the last. Now we have, like you said, HLG Gold versus Undertow Dartfish. Both these teams are going to maybe try to do the same thing.
I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, currently Undertow Dartfish is coming off of 1-0-3 loss, and then we have another. Actually, they went 3-0, lost 3-0, probably looking to get a 3-0 win here. And if you were to look at HLG Gold, it's almost the same story. It is the same story, oddly enough. So they're both of these teams are tied, and both of these teams are playing to get some more points to the board. So we'll see what both of these teams come up with real soon here.
Yeah, I mean, let's look at these weapon comps, right? We are going to see a ballpoint coming out along... Hey, focus up.
Okay.
We do see a custom Rage Blaster as well coming on out. We have some interesting combat. Dudes love the Jet Squelcher coming out as well from HLG Gold. Both these teams kind of playing a little scrappy right now. We are going to see some picks going out on the field. Some splat bombs being thrown. 2 players down, though, for Undertow Dartfish. HLG Gold pushing this tower for the first second, but there's wolf sharking. Will they find one or no? They'll have to dance around the tower. They find one. Maybe they find 2.
Oh.
Maybe they get 3. They got 3. What is happening?
Big night. All right. Okay. Well, regardless, Undertow Dartfish off to
Spicy
one heck of
opening.
a start with that, because now we got Wolf just teeing off on HLG Gold. Undertow Dartfish, it hasn't scored a point, or hasn't been able to give some 4 points on the board yet, but they've been doing fairly well here, holding back HLG Gold as Cool Guy here, attempting to provide some poking pressure here for Undertow Dartfish. It is enough to get control of the tower, and it should be enough for them to get to the lead here. And it is. Yes.
Barely, yeah. I mean, the cooler on tower definitely helps them as well as Cool Guy popping out that wave breaker. One player's going to go down. It's going to be their Zap. We are going to see Kitsune coming onto this left side stack here. Cool Guy, though, making sure they can play a little bit of the range with that Squelcher, Dually Squelcher to be exact. Kitsune does have an inkjet ready, though. All it has to take is one good pop position, which I think they might go for soon, as they can reposition well. The players on Undertow Dartfish have to back up, have to play their life just a little bit better here, as there are going to be trades going off in the center of the map. Kraken comes out from the big nut, trying to find a pick on the left side, and there's two players going through. Can they find a pick in time? Yes! The big nut finds one culprit.
Here we go. Okay, I'm just noticing that we've got one player named Big Nut and the other named Mr. Peanut. So, if anything, HLG Gold will walk for naming conventions, but they are walking away with the leads so far, up to 45 remaining for now. HLG Gold continuously applying pressure. It's slowly but surely with this team is what I'm seeing here, because it's not as fast as we've seen from the previous set, but it's certainly getting the job done, especially with that triple for the side of HLG Gold for UC Riverside here, as Undertow Dartfish has yet to find a response. It's still taking them a while, and they've been doing so well, but right now, no response here. It is a straight KO.
Oh, at the end there, those players, they just did not catch that tower in time. Got kind of pulled away from the distractant. HLG Gold securing their first win of this set in a KO fashion. That was a great play. They played that really well and steamrolled through, and that's such a scary thing on this map mode combination too. Oh, I love the matching emotes as well. I mean, this could steamroll faster than you know, especially after that first checkpoint. If you're not able to try to put on a strong defense, it could just fumble. I mean, I love this replay too. We have Wolf out of nowhere, gets one, gets two, looks for a third, and sees the Kraken going through, pops them out as well. If Rice was there on the tower as well, I think it would have been a complete wipeout, a quad. That is clipped for your college's highlight reel for the year.
That is for your viewing entertainment. My goodness, that is top level stuff we're seeing here. And it's interesting because HLG Gold walks away with the win here. They've clearly proven themselves to be they've proven themselves to be steady, they've proven themselves to be patient, and they know just how much effort they need to put to keep the push going and to keep it solid. So I think they're still going to be watching out. They're definitely going to be watching out for Wolf, because Wolf could have been that push there, that triple could have been very dangerous for him had they let it go any further. But we're going to move on to Splat Zones on Mahi Mahi Resort real soon here.
Splats on the Mahi. I mean, this is going to be a pretty good matchup for what these players are going to bring out. Blaster's going to have a field day here. A lot of ledges here that you could keep poking on out. I am curious to see if maybe we'll see any comp changes, because so far we've seen pretty much every team have some sort of comp change brought out to them. I know if they want to keep those dually squelchers, you could see a great opportunity for that wave breaker to be put in a corner and just mark those enemy players. I mean, both teams have good comp ideas that they ran from the last game, but like I said, so far each team we've had on this stream has been able to apply some kind of comp change depending on the map mode, which we see a lot now in competitive. Is just, instead of manning those couple weapons that you want to use for everything, sometimes you just gotta bend to what is better for that map, and we might be no different here.
Absolutely not. I think with what I saw from UC Riverside, the gold team on the previous set, they know how to play it pretty steady. It's not like they were going for flashy plays there. They knew how to hold their own. That's why you didn't see much come out of them as far as plays went. I mean, you obviously saw that one triple from Wolf that we freaked out about, but I like that HLG Gold is playing it patiently. They're letting Undertow Dartfish make mistakes, and that's the kind of patience I do like seeing from these types of teams. So with a mode like Splat Zones, it's certainly perfect for them because that means they're able to stand in front of that zone and just wait for them to drop, wait for those flags to happen. And so we'll see how they can bring that level of play to Mahi zones.
Yeah, and you're gonna see a really strong attempt at hold when the water lowers down, right? Because the more you're able to be in the offensive positioning, you have a lot more map control to work with. You have so much more space, a lot of opportunity to build up those specials and keep your pushes going. Keep those enemies on their plat. Make it really hard for them to come back in. And we're about to see what these players are going to pull out and go with now as we roll into this game. We're going to see a Wiper come on out. The Octo Shot's going to give some great strike output. We're going to see a Pencil for the first time, it feels like, today.
Okay, HLG go here. If there is ever a starter kit for a team comp, this is it. What you're seeing from HLG Gold. You've got the Pencil, you've got the Vanilla Splatter Shot, you've got the Tenatech Splatter Shot, and that is what you're going to see in most competitive Splatoon. So HLG Gold going to the basics here. I like to see it that way. They can focus on what they were doing best instead. Space Plane here, able to go for one pick, and a few more coming in for HLG Gold. But Undertow Dartfish get some picks to respond. Is it enough to get control of the zone? Yes, it is.
And so Dartfish doing a pretty good job here of fighting for these pressure. Wolf, can they pull off an impossible task? No, they cannot. 2v1, they go down. Chris is now just trying to hold this left side of the zone as the Viper's going to apply some pressure. Bombs going to come on through as we are to see Big Nut try to apply a blaster pick, and they will lead swap those switches over to Undertow Dartfish as they're applying a lot of pressure. Mr. Peanut pops a cooler in a little bit of a panic, and Sploosh Man with a double swipe, you're out of here. And look at this aggression they have already holding up that plat. There is the aggressive positioning on the offense where the map drops down. Big Nut goes down again to Sploosh Man. Space Plans, popping the Zuka to try to find another pick. Will the Zuka find one? No, just barely missing Kitsune.
I think it's really interesting that we have a Sploosh Man that's not playing Sploosh, but that's beside the point. There is still a hammer on the map here, as Undertow Dartfish is flipping the script here. If we can get a KO, it'll be a complete flip of the script. 6 ticks left for HLG Gold to make something happen here. Undertow Dartfish going to tie the set with that, and that ended far faster than I thought it would. I mean, that was that we were talking about the comps and whatnot, and
so Dartfish was just able to hold a strong game there. In a quick KO fashion too. I mean, it had a struggle in the beginning, but once they got their positioning really well, that wipeout was really the turning point. Was able to turn it around for them.
yeah, nope, that is all they needed, and really all it took for Undertow Dartfish to flip this game on its head. So now we're going into a Game 3, and the first Game 3 of our commentary block and the stream, in which the Game 3 is going to decide who wins the set. So lots of close stuff here from both teams, and it does make sense. Again, both of these teams are coming in with a 1-1 record in the group stage so far, so it makes total sense that we're going into a Game 3, which is going to take place on Rainmaker Manta Maria.
Oh, Rainmaker Manta. This is going to be such an interesting matchup for both these teams to bring on forward. Again, both these teams are looking to win this game to make their record a 2-1 from win to loss ratios from their sets altogether. I mean, with Rainmaker Manta, you have, of course, those checkpoints off on the sides or in that front street. It's really going to be about who can hold that mid control first and take control of those snipe and bunker areas. They need to build up those specials. Both teams have some great comps that they can look to apply with pressure with. I'm just curious to see if there's going to be any crazy comp changes, because we didn't see that too many that game, right? I mean, we saw a little bit here and there, some tweaks, but we did see some players stick with weapons that they are familiar with.
It's funny you mentioned that, and do like it. I did notice that switch to a pencil V-shot and a T-Tech, and that noticed that being very it's almost like HLG Go knew that they can just focus on what they did on that tower Mako Mark game, which wasn't necessarily affected by the weapon picks themselves, rather than just them playing patient. So if they can switch the weapon comp like that and assure themselves that if they have a more viable comp, it might work out better. I can see that working, but ultimately Undertow Dartfish came in with the win there. But HLG Gold's actually going to stick to that. Undertow Dartfish bringing out, I believe, just the same, maybe not.
All right, maybe there was a little bit of a mix-up there. Maybe players selected something wrong or an issue going on in. But yeah, I mean, if both these teams decide to stick those same comps that we just saw, we're going to see. I'm actually curious how it's going to turn out, right? I mean, for HLG Gold to go to that pencil, they must think it's going to work a lot better than it did that first game with their original comp, which, that intrigues me, because the pencil does hinder a little bit there with the aggression they came in the first time around. So it's going to be maybe just the ranged poke, which could be really good at Manta Maria, something you want to be able to hold really strongly. Or it could be the opportunity to get faster coolers, whichever they might need.
Yeah, no, this is, I mentioned this at least once every commentary block because I feel the need to assert the superiority of my weapon, but I'm a Tri-Slosher main. And really any Tri-Slosher or Blaster type weapon is going to be excellent here for the same reasons you pointed out. So we're going to see both of these teams again coming out with the same comp. No changes there, obviously, as we try once again here on Rainmaker Manta Maria.
Absolutely. Both these teams are rushing to mid. Who's going to be the first to take control of that pop? We are going to see, again, like Nino mentioned, the same comps coming out. Pop's leaning a little bit more towards HLG Gold, and it will, but pop does not always matter. It's going to be who could take advantage of building up those specials first, taking out those first couple players. Strikes will come on out, but the blaster will go down on HLG Gold. Undertow Dartfish looking to Dartfish, trying to apply a little bit more pressure, trying to take off these different angles. We are going to see the hammer coming out. Here comes Splooshman, looking for one, but will Chris cancel them out from the front facing? It will actually be a Big Nut getting a pick on the side as they look for a flank.
I'm sorry, I can't get over it. Of course you're playing the custom range, the big freaking blaster thing. Of course you're Big Nut. Why you might as well carry the Rainmaker though? Yeah, first pedestal. And it made me cough.
They ran away with it. They have a stamp ready. Oh no, there goes Space Plan. Sploosh, man, doing a great job with that hammer, playing anything but Sploosh. Big Nut now helping with that pop. They're going to try to go dive for it. The Inkjet comes on out. That bomb did a fancy trick roll. Big Nut grabs the rain. The Inkjet cancels them out. They get canceled out by Chris. Chris doing a great job at playing a really supportive and aggro T-Tac, which you love to see. They're going to somehow barely stay alive, and they get one. Chris gets two. Make that an assist on the second. It is a 4v2 on the map. They're holding all aggression here. Nito, this might be a lot more points going on the board for HLG Gold.
Oh, it's going to be really close here now. We're heading HLG Go. It's a drop there. And I believe they did actually. So the Rainmaker logo is right below, or right behind where the last stop. So they just barely got below that ledge, I believe. And HLG Gold's going to look to capitalize on this with more turf control. Is it enough? Oh my goodness! Sploosh, man! Right on the tail. Not quick enough, though, as HLG Gold KOs to win the set.
HLG Gold rolled with that momentum that they had, and they just secured themselves the W. And that's a bow by each player securing the dub 2-1. Another set win for HLG Gold. Wow. I mean, that momentum they rode off of was incredible. They just got these players from Undertow Dartfish out of the way as fast as they could. I love this 1v1 here with Space Plan as well. I mean, they knew that they might go down here, but they just kind of moved out of the way for the Splat Bomb to take care of it. And I mean, just look at this. Look how fast Space Plan paints that forward. Players on the top go down. Chris just runs it, and with you had Splooshman behind with the stamp. It's just not enough.
No, not at all. I mean, I feel like at the end of these types of sets, there's always a lot for me to talk about, but it's funny because this set, it was KO and then another KO, which now we're 1-1, and now all of a sudden HLG Gold sneaks one past it. Sploosh Bro nearly gets another one, but there's not much for me to talk about here. It's KO after KO after KO. It's really whichever team happened to find a hole in the other team to go through, and all of a sudden the game's over.
Yeah, I mean, just like that, it's... I mean, they did really just pull an Uno reverse on Undertow Dartfish for that last Splat Zones game. I mean, do you want to KO us? Fine. We'll KO you where it hurts. And that's going to be a full-fledged victory set win. And, I mean, that was incredible. I mean, that was a quick game that they were able to pull off. Pulled it off beautifully, too. Make sure the players were right where they wanted them on Undertow Dartfish. And perhaps Undertow Dartfish for being able to at least take a game off of them. But it just was not enough.
Yeah, that was impressive stuff from both teams, and honestly, not the close matchup I was expecting here. 2-1, and even from the individual game results, I wasn't expected to be so close, but this set went by really quickly. Well, what do we do now? what happens now?
Well, we do have a round to wait for.
Do we have a break to go to?
We go to a break.
That sounds like a great idea, Cactus. Why don't we take a break, and then, but while we wait, you can go visit CCA YouTube. They've got a nice little stream going on as well. But as for us, that's going to be it for now. On the other side of this break, we're going to be able to close off the Swiss group stage with round 4.
It's insane how much range that price launcher has. We see Dreamy Mr. L stuck on the battle alongside of that Zap. And it looks like they have 3 specials on board. The only one that's not, that doesn't have a special line, is that Explode Rider. We see the Cooler, we see the Rails, we might see a Zipcaster coming in soon. We see an X, and we're seeing a Splashdown trade. And it looks like the Nautilus is trying to find Dreamy Dr. L, and then they will lose that fight. The Explode's just in zone. They find My Guy RGB. They might find another in the zone, and it looks like the cap is finally going to go back at the Bob Splat's favor.
Yeah, and good for them too, because of course they got through their penalty. They were getting dangerously close to securing that the game with a knockout. Going into the last minute of the game, Bobslot's penalty is already looking pretty thin, but here comes the Inkjet, as always, doing work. But a big splashdown from the Expo, that's going to shut down that Inkjet quickly. Bobsplats is 3 down. The last one, it's not the Expo is jumping in, but that splashdown's definitely going to make things awkward for them. Stamper trying to run away. They're going to get picked up. That's a delayed wipe. Corsairs are going to have all of the space in the world here to set up. Although, again, looks like they're electing to stay in mid and play this a bit more patiently. There's only 30 seconds left in the game. I can understand where they're coming from, although that is going to make things maybe just a little bit more challenging for them. Price launcher going down as well. Bobsplat's pushing as hard as they can. They realize it's now or never. Penalty is off the table. They're going to go 2 down. Make that 3 down. It's only Ray. They go down. They did flip the zone, though, so hanging on by a thread. 15 seconds left in the game. They needed to make something happen now, or else it's just going to be a win by score for the Corsairs. Lace is coming online. Ray's threatening the zone. Zipcaster out as well. They find one. Big splashdown. They're going to flip the zone. It's going to go into overtime. I say as a splashdown comes in, that's probably going to secure the zone, and it does. Ugh, valiant effort, but Corsairs, they came in swinging. They're going to take that second win, and with it, the 2-0 victory over Bobsplat.
we said we let it go, but we settled for the last. Couldn't let you want it though. Who am I to let you down? No. Who am I to let you down, down, down? If you let me walk away, maybe then we'd lose it all. No. Who am I to let you
It looks like, and because of that, the Corsairs managed to get down to 32 because of the amazing play by that 10th umbrella and the rest of the team understanding that, hey, let's go along with this because we know that this is probably a strategy that they practice. And as I'm speaking, 31, it's a pretty great starting push, especially since the Corsairs have so much map control. We see the splash slowly shucking. They have the strikes ready. They're ready to use it, and we see the strikes coming out from the bomb spots. But I'm not really sure how effective these will be, since it's just effectively just flushing people out of their street. But that's not going to stop the people from mid, you know.
Bobsplats did elect to reset the Rainmaker there, although with map control still firmly in the hands of Corsairs, it really isn't going to do much. They're going to go 2 down, make that 3 down, make that a wipe. This is just an absolute clinic on the side of UMass D. Rainmaker in their hands, pushing it, rapidly threatening the lead. They're gaining points here, only 7, so good play on the part of Bobsplat stopping that push before it got too out of hand.
Uh-oh.
My guy doing the 10th strategy. They're gonna sneak in and get a lot of good points there. They're gonna die for it, but I'd say that push was that play was easily worth the death that went into it. Corsairs are gonna go 3 down. Rainmaker reset yet again, and this time, now that Corsairs are mostly down, they might have a chance to actually capitalize off that reset. 10th umbrella gonna go down. Another one respawning. Like, UMass does not have a lot of presence in mid right now. They're gonna take the Rainmaker. Bobsplat's finally getting some points on the board, and they're looking to replicate that fast push by going to the checkpoint on the right, just barely not gonna secure it.
Yeah, they tried to play it risky, but it ended up costing them not a checkpoint. It looks like Mikey RTP. Oh, that's definitely a clip. Pushing off the map is insane work. And it looks like my God,
Oh, using the wall to their advantage.
Oh dear. I would trust this man with my life in the Hunger Games. I'm not gonna lie. As we see, he's playing it he's just playing it really slow because he knows there's 2 minutes left. We have a lot. We're just trying to start pushing slowly but surely, trying to get this map control in. I know my teammates are going to be able to take care of the enemies, and look at this. We're just, you know, it really just shows like how well disciplined this team is, because they don't want to try anything too risky that might result in a team wipe, because they know that it's just going to allow Bobsplat to get so much momentum. But as we see, the slow pushing really just allows them to do stuff like this with a 3 down and a dunk to secure the 3-0.
Welcome back to the CCA Circuit Qualifier, the first of many. I'm Nito, joined today by my partner in crime, Cactus. We are going to close off the group stage with one more matchup we've got coming up for y'all. It's going to be VESPA enters Salmon from Virginia Tech and Golden Barracudas from Kutztown University.
That's right. Hello, everyone. I'm Cactus, joined by Nito. And by the way, Nito, I need to mention it because they don't know. The viewers don't know this. That was not like planned counted down. No one was in our ear telling us when to turn around. We turned around at the exact same time. It was beautiful.
Y'all can only dream of this level of synergy. I'm kidding. You guys are
which were it's like that one meme. But anyway, yes. Talk a little about these teams, right? So VESPA right now are record 1-2. Their one win being from a bye. They lost 2-1 to RIT Orange Kois and 3-0 to Cody's Black. And then on the other side, Golden Barracudas again, also 1-2. So both of these teams 1-2 record, trying to take home another win. Looking at for them, they are both 3-0 losses against Surging Seas and the Mississippi State Sea Dogs. So Golden Barracudas is one game up on the other hand, but let's see what these players are gonna bring. Is that Bamboo?
Yes! Bring back Bamboo. And there's Salmon already getting the first pick of the game. And so is Golden Barracudas responding. This is going to be Clan Blitz on Museum d'Alfonzino. But so far, no team able to get anything out of this. I mean, you guys saw it. The Bamboo pick.
Yeah, I mean, besides looking on the side of Golden Barracudas, a pretty dominant comp that we see overall with the dually stamper shot pencil. I mean, it's common to what you see today. We do see the stamper coming around, causing some mayhem. Can they find another pick with that on the board? No, it gets punished pretty quickly. VESPA doing a fantastic job at holding a lot of space right now, forcing the players of Golden Barracudas back onto their plan. You'd love to see that.
Yes, absolutely. This is... The Golden Barracudas are actually a team I played against in Riptide, so not too long ago, I was able to see what they could come up with, and I believe with this matchup they have in front of us, they're going to bring a lot to the table here, and they're certainly bringing some stuff already. We're starting to see it come out here. They're trying to start poking around that enemy spinner, starting to see what they could bring out to try to get a pitch go. 3 minutes and 15 seconds into the, or 30 seconds rather into the game.
That's right, Nito. 3 minutes into the game, no one has scored yet, trying to build up that pressure. Try to stop the other teams from coming on, and we do see a lot of good mid-control from VESPA. Trying to do a pretty good hold here, holding on to this center, making sure no players are able to sneak through. We do see the zip coming on in. 80 picks going on in. Still, no one trying to find the opportunity right now to build up that Clam Academy and go on in to score.
And nothing yet. This is... I don't mean to preach the choir here. This is Splatoon 3 Clan Blitz, so you see a lot of neutral battles going on here. There's no what we're seeing right now. Halfway into the match, and no team has yet to score. Either team has yet to score a clam, but so far, Enter Salmon starting to pop up a few specials, see if they can get a pick going. But it's actually Golden Barracudas now who hold a numbers advantage. There's the triple actually from Golden Barracudas. They're going to start to see them possibly move in. They do have a Trizuka, so expect some more out of that. They're starting to grab us a few power clams, or a few clams from the ground here. This is going to make sure they have enough for this push they're setting themselves up to make. And I love to see these teams focus on clam economy.
Ooh, that flank around by Grace caught a player off guard, but was the Stamper able to hold that? McDonald lover, I love that name. Being able to hold that off. Now the strong defense now by Golden Barracudas. I mean, they have to try to hold on or else they're going to see the players start going down here, but the zip getting canceled out, and it just trades in this corner. Nito, it is such a back and forth game when we're less than 2 minutes left on the clock. No team has severe good clam economy besides Golden Barracudas, as now they're looking to make that power clam, but first they need to try to take control of some space. Power clam made. Here comes the crab trying to open up the plat area of a VESPA Enter Salmon.
All right, now we're starting to see some more coherency in these special pops. That's something I believe was missing earlier because they were popping these specials. Maybe you get a pick or two, but nothing totally came up from those specials. But now we're starting to see them come out in groups here. There was a crab, and there was a crab first, and there was a cooler, possibly expected to follow up on that crab and see what else they can get there. Nice movement here, by the way, from the. Nice movement here from the dualies from Golden Barracudas. It's Parrish song, but I'm starting to see a little bit more here coming out from Golden Barracudas. Now they have 4 specials ready.
I mean, look at that clam economy, Nito. 20 clams to their name. Now drops down as McDonald Lover gets 1. Look at if on another is Perished on with the crab. Can this player live? No. Grace goes down. Nito, we're 30 seconds left in the match and no one scored once.
Okay. Golden Barracudas, they're this close to the spinner. There has to be a score here, but it's still Enter Salmon that holds on to the clam. But here comes Golden Barracudas. This isn't enough to get. No, it's not. Parrish goes down. There's still a few players around that clam, but they go down as well. There was going to be very dangerous here for Enter Salmon. Golden Barracudas had it very closely there, and this game's going to be going into overtime. 3 minutes of sudden death. We'll see which team scores first.
Oh, and those dualies chose to pick that fight instead of scoring the power clam. I know they felt like they didn't have the choice, but we're going to see McDonald Lover here zipping around, gets down the power clam. It's picked up again as the stamper is out. Power clam not formed just yet by Golden Barracudas as 2 players go down. Zuka taking them out. VESPA Enter Salmon is doing a great job with his clam economy. Can they score from the side? They barely miss. It's just every time trying to hold on the side. It's a 1v4 right now, Nito. They're trying to stay alive. Can they jump out? Are they going to hold this corner? They're going to hold it, Nito, and they're going to pick.
Oh my goodness, and they're holding it very well. There is one down. Maritime goes down. Both power clams have just been lost, and we're not going to see a winner for the next 30 seconds at least. I mean, what is going on here? You mentioned both of these teams going back and forth. I didn't think it was anything like this. We are halfway past overtime, by the way. So we're now 6 minutes and 30 seconds into this matchup. And it's going to keep going until somebody scores. And it looks like it might be Enter Salmon, who doesn't get it in. Love Bullet now doesn't get it in either. Both of these teams still going back and forth. But it's Enter Salmon who scores.
They did it. VESPA Enter Salmon scores the power clam and it ends us halfway through the overtime. A 6.5 to 7 minute clam blitz game to start off this final round. Nito, what did we just witness?
I don't know. I don't know. You mentioned back and forth. That's the only thing I can think about mentioning here. Here comes Parrish Song, doing what they do best, playing that role of a skirmisher and seeing what they can get from there. Grace and Love Bullet go down, and all of a sudden, I'm thinking this is over. It's like Golden Barracudas, because then they start to swap over to this other side of the spinner. That leaves Shaman's a wide open hole, and that ends the game for Ender Salmon, but I don't know. I was surprised by a lot of things I saw. Most holding that corner on their own and not jumping out, that surprised me. And then it followed up with Parrish Song falling into the water, and all of a sudden both teams don't have a power clam, and I don't know what to do here.
I don't think you could have planned that better for both power clams to disappear off of the map, besides falling in the water and the other getting picked off in a corner. And I just love that it was the most unique weapon pick out of the entire comp on both sides. It was the bamboo from VESPA that ended up scoring. Like, we play the duel off there, the pick that gets their power clam out. Teams are power clamless, and they're staggering to find these power clams. I mean, you can't make this up. Whoever's writing the script, they're making it. They're putting in the work.
I don't know. It's like Clam Blitz overtime. Now means something different in me. It means something throughout the entire set has brought us here. And very often, it's just that both of these teams couldn't get anything off the ground. That looked like the case for both of these teams here, especially what I saw with Enter Salmon, or actually with the Golden Barracudas. They just weren't able to get a push going, whether it be from a mistake or they're going 3 down. None of these teams were able to get a solid push off the ground, and all of a sudden we enter no man's land in overtime. I think the rest of Clan Blitz should just be overtime, just like have one player score and then just wrap the game up from there. Let's have fun with it. Let's just go to overtime.
Why not make it as long as possible? And that's exactly what they aim to do. And thankfully, we're going to that mode next. That can't take as long unless it takes a crazy 100 to 0 push. We're going to tower control on ship shape cargo.
Yeah.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, no, I don't know how many people. I know you played Splatoon 2. We played Splatoon 2, but
We played Splatoon 2.
Ship-shaped cargo coat reminds me a lot of not Muscle Forge, Schellendorf. So
Okay, yeah, I see it.
tower control on ship shape with how both of these teams played. I just want one of y'all to touch the tower. I just want
once.
one of y'all to touch the tower. Like, as long as we can get that out of the way, but let's see how many times the tower is touched in this game. That is 2 vanilla splatter shots coming out from Ender Salmon. A Forge Pro. Oh my god!
Made it to the big leagues. It made it.
Pro. Oh my god.
We see a crazy comp change actually coming out from Golden Barracudas. They also brought up the Slosher, the Junior, Pencil stays because pencil's pencil, but right away, 15 seconds in, no tower poke just yet. Will they ever touch the tower as we're 20 seconds in? Both teams now fighting for the scrappy center, trying to find some good opportunities. Here comes the Forge on the side, trying to go after Grace. They get a great jump pick there. Golden Barracudas has a solid hold of mid, and tower is touched first by Golden Barracudas.
Let me just say, I love that Forge Pro pick, especially when you're playing against that comp coming out from Ender Salmon. One, you have something to fight against that bamboo with, which, considering how Dreamer's been playing already, you do want something aggressive and something mobile to play against that bamboo. You also have something to defend against those 2 shots. So great option, great pick here from Golden Barracudas. It's working out very well for them, and the rest of it's working out very well for them as well. Until they get wiped like that, Enter Salmon now has an opportunity to respond, but Golden Barracudas already getting past the first checkpoint.
Yeah, that was a great flank by Grace on the bottom. They're able to get the jump in, and the player not really watching that side. We are going to see now VESPA push for the first time. Netsuka just got 2 players down, Pencil and Junior, but he is the aggro players left alive. This is probably going to be a checkpoint clear. Is that double? Wait, that's double V-shot. I just realized that's double Zuka on the side of VESPA. We are going to see the Forge try to rush the tower. Dreamore trying to see if they can find a pick before having to reset. They're going to stay on this bottom right pit area. See if they can find a trade. No trades will be had. It's going to be VESPA still trying to push the tower forward, but a bomb's going to halt that.
Oh, excellent defensive from Maritime. Maritime, very good here with these 1v1s. Just knows how to take these fights so well with that heavy edit. So great job there from Maritime as Enter Salmon continues his push. We'll be getting the lead here just barely. One of them steps off. It's going to be Maritime that steps off the tower there for a second. That Julia bomb just gets shredded, but it doesn't go off though. XV currently stepping out of tower. Gets 2 with bomb. So at least he sends a little more. Another one. Bullet, the only one left. 2 players going down. Love Bullet now. Taking some chances there. And it all ends with the colon 3 on the pencil. Taking care of Love Bullet. Cactus, what did I just see?
We just saw blow for blow for blow for blow. I mean, these players have definitely tons of clips now that they just got on these other teams, especially a nice bomb splat there. Players not too wary of where these bombs are landing, as you could just roll them across the ground. Suction bombs will be thrown on the left side here, thankfully scared some players away. Dreammore is going to have a Booyah bomb ready, and mind you, they are on the defensive side now. They do have some points they have to build up. Now, with 2 minutes left on the clock, Azuka's going to be ready by VESPA to try to retaliate with that. Love Bullet trying to fight on the side, gets one. Can they find another, or will they have to try to stay alive? They don't find that pick. 2 players down for Golden Barracudas. VESPA might look to try to push this tower just a little bit more if they can find the right spacing.
Alrighty, Golden Barracudas so far not quite as good as they would have liked because they did, but it's still very much closer. We returned to the battle state that I've been seeing throughout this whole set, but Golden Barracudas does still have what it takes. I do want to see more from that aggressive Forge Pro. I do think that is a weapon that they can use extremely well, especially here on Shamans. You can expect I'm expecting this Forge Pro to go straight forward. Yeah, right here. They're going straight forward and goes for the pick. Now here comes the flank. Oh, it's actually going to be a Booyah that comes out first. There is a heavy edit that's in big danger here, but Dreamer goes down instead.
Wow, I can't believe that Edit was able to get out in time. Zuka's going to take out the Slosher by Grace. Great pick there. Love Bullets launching there, Zuka, just to try to take mid. They will find one player as well. Down goes the Pencil, but Cooler was popped out in time. Golden Barracudas is going to be coolered up and ready to come back. 40 seconds left on the clock, and Vespa's holding strong defense here in mid.
Awesome work here from Enter Salmon, who are still holding on to the lead. They will close the set. They won't close the set, but they will be leading and winning the set if they can take this one out. But Golden Barracuda is still proving to be very challenging to work with here. Love Bullet now in trouble with Dreamer here. Dreamer currently taking a 2v1 there. Almost dangerous for that. Almost dangerous for Dreamer, who now gets a pick on that one shot. Partially damaged by that Booyah Bomb. But Grace now. See what Grace can do. There you go down. Golden Barracudas has one more left. Holding onto the tower, but Ender Salmon it's not. It's Golden Barracudas who sneaks one by in game 2 to tie the set.
Nito, what? The Splat Bump to finish off the whole team as they all died for tower. There's no way. What?
Okay, now we gotta start talking about how I'm always wrong with how I analyze games after the set. Because the first set was like, oh, well, nobody's doing anything. And now the second set's like, oh, well, now everybody's doing everything. Forge Pro is sending it down the side. Grace here is playing for their life, almost literally. Here's Colin 3, the only one alive. It's sure to look like a mess here. If you took a screenshot of that, it looks like a mess. One bomb. Wipe out. Golden Barracudas wins. This script's here to prove me wrong.
Dude.
Every time.
I mean, that was like... first of all, they got a fake latency there because that jump should not have made it there in time. That jump was still like... By the time the Pencil went down, that jump was maybe a couple frames away from landing before the other players on VESPA were even already on the tower. I mean, talk about luck there, and throwing the Splat Bomb just to move over a couple inches over for the full wipeout of the team. I mean, wow. We got a match on our hands.
That's something meta doesn't teach you. But, like, I gotta say, that is not how I expected the match to end. Because, again, we're looking at 3 players here. Grace has the flank, has the blind spot almost. Goes down, though. Here comes Colin 3, the only one left. There's 3 people in front of him. This doesn't end in a wipeout unless that bomb comes out. And all of a sudden, this is a completely different game with a completely different result. Game 3, I don't know what happens now. I just don't know anymore.
What happens now, Nito? We go to Game 3, Splats Dumame with both teams now at the edge of their seats. One game away from winning the set.
Okay, no major... Oh, actually, no, there's a non-elite.
Okay.
So that's the player who had the Forge Pro earlier in Enter Salmon, making no major changes here. So, I mean, it worked out that comp works out very, very well until the end there. which is just a very spectacular move again. But Enter Salmon currently not the first one at the zone, but Golden Barracuda's first one at the lead.
Yeah, I mean, they're fired up too. I mean, look how aggressive these players are playing. They know they're not out for the count yet. The Sam gets canceled. Zuka's trying to find another on the side. We'll find another, and it's going to be Vespa fighting for that zone back.
And the Salmon still proving to be very contentious here. Dreamer going down. Love Bullet contributes to an assist there. Shaman's able to clean that up with the Killer Whale. Maybe even a Bamboo there, but Dreamer going down as well. Shaman, excellent job with this Bamboo, but McDonald Lover pulling now at the Zamp. Not enough goes down as well. I mean, Molden, Ender Salmon, and Golden Barracudas are coming into this match with everything on the line, so they just decided we're going to leave it all behind and we're going to see what happens. Let's just see, where do we go?
Yeah, I mean, talk about a great Zuka play there. Another Zuka on the side, finding one, finding two. Love Bullet's on a record right now of trying to find these picks in a row. Can they find on the wiper? Yes, they will. Nito, they find a trade.
No, you're kidding me. Okay, now this is I like to describe these matches as team deathmatch matches because all of a sudden we're not worried about the objective is a side quest. We're just worried about who team gets the most picks at this rate because both of these teams are trading off every single time Grace goes down. So you could probably actually both of these teams already one player from each side has already gone down. Once McDonald Lover gets a pick, you can expect Bobble to get that pick possibly, but McDonald Lover holds on. And Golden Barracudas holding on to the zone for now. Will they hold on long enough to get the lead? We're going to see really quickly here. But both of these teams have just been teeing off on one another. It's amazing that we've actually gotten a lead change here.
Yeah, I mean, Golden Barracuda's holding on now, getting that lead back that they originally had at the start of the game. These players are kind of scrapping around, right, trying to find opportunities. There's another Zuka by Love Bullet, finding one. Zuka followed again by Grace. Can they find the wiper? No, they can't. A trade goes off to the side. It's going to be 2 players down for Golden Barracuda. Make that pretty much 3. A delayed wipeout. Vespa enters. Salmon can now take back of the zone, and they're going to try to hold this pressure fast as we're going to see the Bamboo already poking pretty fast, pretty forward. Looking to see if find another pick as the whales will come out to track these players, make sure they know where they're going for their teammates.
It's not going to take. It hasn't taken them long to get rid of those penalty points, which they've already done. Ender Salmon now has a few more points to cover, but the Bubbler coming in very useful for Golden Barracudas. Enter Salmon still trading blows here. It's actually not Bullet that gets that big, but they did contribute to it. 3 players already down for Golden Barracudas. There needs to be another pick for Ender Salmon, but XV holds on. I mean, this is still back and forth, neck and neck as much as it can be. XV tries to pop the bubbler there, but it's not enough. Ender Salmon currently enters lead.
We have another lead change again. These teams are going trade for trade here for zone. McDonald Lover gets 2, but gets picked off with the trade by Love Bullet. They're fighting to hold on that zone. Can Golden Barracudas hold it, or will be Vespa trying to fight for it again to continue their lead? Golden Barracudas takes it back, puts on some penalty points, and they're going to try to hold on. But no, it's not over though. The players of Vespa are holding on, fighting with all they got in the last minute of this game to try to hold on to the zone and get it back to build up the penalty points. The jump's going to come on in. Shaman barely misses those last couple of shots. They're still not in the lead. They turn their back and get it popped off by the Pencil or the Nautilus. They're just trading side for side, zone for zone. No one can fully cap it until finally Golden Barracuda takes it again.
I mean, there's nothing for me to say here. They're both playing like this is Division 2 Grand Finals, and it may as well be. I mean, with how these teams are teeing off and fighting against one another, fighting like their playoff lives depend on it, even though this is just the first circuit qualifier. And Ender Salmon currently holding on to the zone. They have to keep... There's nothing else to do here. They have to just ensure they can stay back and keep their numbers, but they've already lost 3 players. Golden Barracudas is going to hold on to this probably long enough to go in overtime, and they have 10 seconds left on the clock. Love Bullet being forced to back up here, but Golden Barracudas holding on to the zone. I noticed them having 2 players, one on each zone, and I wonder how they're going to come up with that. Or I wonder how they're going to keep that right now, because they certainly just need one zone to hold on to make sure Vespa can't return here.
That's right, Nito. There goes all of their penalty points. Golden Barracudas just have to hold on to both zones. We're reaching down the energy, the overtime that stops them from being able to go forward, but they barely get it back. But both zones are being painted. 2 players went down. Golden Barracudas couldn't hold on any longer. VESPA enters Salmon, takes the win away. 2-1 to the final round of Swiss.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Characters. Is it? No. This has to be Quinn. And our block on overtime in Splat Zone's Umami. Again. This time we're commentating. Last time we're freaking playing. I mean, this. I don't know if I can say this. I think Umami Ruins is just a cursed map for me. I can't really. But. I wanted more overtime, I'm gonna be honest. I
don't blame you. I mean, just look at this overtime, right? I mean, look at this replay. It looked like Golden Barracudas was gonna fight so hard to get this back, and I'm curious as to how all these players went down. We see the pencil head went down before. McDonald Lover dives onto the bamboo, but gets picked off as well. And then the junior gets picked off on the other zone through the bubble. Dreammore can only hold on as a Nautilus by themselves for so much without getting outpainted by 3 other players. Man, that was just a recipe for VESPA to take it all with those 1v1 plays, 1v1 fights, and they did so just very beautifully. Only an 18-point game difference, but I'm sorry, 16 as the overtime was still playing, but man, it felt like that game was going on forever.
Man, I'm already tired. I mean, I think honestly, you couldn't have asked for a better set to end our commentary block on. We had 3-0s over and over, and then we get into a 2v1. That's all KOs, and this one ends at the very at least 2 games went to overtime. You don't see that too often.
No. Not between teams that are fighting for it all, right? Fighting for as many points as they can grab. I mean, both these teams were 1 and 2 going into this final round, hoping that they could snag away another win. And by goodness, they put on a show. They poured their heart out for this set. I mean, talk about the 6.5, 7-minute Clan Blitz game in the beginning to an insane tower control pushback that ended in a splat bomb quad practically, and almost an incredible reversal for a zones overtime. I mean, each game pretty much pushing for that overtime. That was incredible.
Oh man. Well, as I mentioned earlier, that is going to be it for us at the commentary booth. I will finally be freed from this rectangle. But, of course, don't change the channel yet, because at the other side of this commentary swap, we're going to have the top cut from Division 1 on stream. Got a fresh set of commentators waiting for y'all on this commentary oven we've got. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. But as for us, it's going to be time to head out. So, Cactus, if you would, please begin the ceremonial plugging of accounts.
Absolutely. I got you, Nito. First, I want to give a huge thank you to you being a goated commentary partner. A huge shout out to production, especially Vapor right now, being able to handle all the stream overlays, the replays, the overhead gameplay. I mean, putting in the work. I always love being able to come and, in a sense, guest star on the CCA commentary block streams. But as Nito said, gotta make our way out of here. So you can find me on all social medias, pretty much at Glitch Cactus, as it says. Hold on, am I looking right there? Yeah, right there. From all social medias, from the Twitters, the Blue Skies, the YouTube, the Twitches, all there. And also on my podcast with Productions, the Cactus Patch. But Nito, where can we find you?
Yeah, first of all, I was going to say, you do have a podcast coming in, or at least a pre-show coming in tomorrow, so
that's correct.
I'll see you there. And you'll see me at Twitch, Twitter, Blue Sky, all under Nito and Use. So this little handle you see at the bottom is basically what I use for everything. And if you want to find me, I'm hungry. I'm probably going to grab for dinner. I'll do that then. I'll grab dinner. That sounds good.
Grab dinner you will, but from Nito and I, that does it for our commentary block. Don't go anywhere. More CCA action coming your way with some fresh commentators.
Couldn't let you want it though. Who am I to let you down? No. Who am I to let you down? Down, if you let me walk away, maybe then we'd lose it all. No. Who am I to let you
Inside lane, missing exits, glued to the pavement. Between the lines, I'll keep my gaze straight ahead as the last stop flies by. No more waiting for the gun to fire. No more walking through revolving doors. I've gone around once, and I don't need to go around anymore. Break away, forget your sober case. Stop dwelling on empty words. Stop stalling in the doorway. And cancel the cruise control. Switch it in the manual. Don't you wanna feel right? Full steam through the setbacks. You can't win them all, but I'm proud I tried. I'm glad we had a dialogue. It's good to shape the mind. Speeding up the pace, turning up the heat. Where I need to be for the first time. I'm taking risks, I'm casting off without a lifeline. Break away, forget your sober case. Stop dwelling on empty words. Stop stalling in the doorway. And cancel the cruise control. Switch it in the manual. Don't you wanna feel right again? Don't you wanna feel whole? Don't you wanna feel?
Get ready for the next battle, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and everyone else in between. My name is SPF Dark. We're coming at you live here at the CCA to bring you the second half of our premier circuit. Now, before I get too ahead of myself right now, I am joined by a very good friend of mine.
Yes, thank you, Dark. DRF bringing it home with you all as well, alongside Dark for the inaugural CCA Circuit Qualifier. This has been such a long time coming. There's been, we estimate, over 1,000 staff hours have been put into making this circuit a reality, and now we are 2.5 hours into today's games, and we're just now in top 16. Dark and I will be bringing you all of the Division 1 coverage. You can head on over to our YouTube channel for all of the Division 2 coverage of the top cut. And we are going to be getting started this top cut with SplatSCAD Black team taking on the GMU Patriots, two teams that have really established themselves last year.
Most definitely, I will agree with that. The GMU Patriots, I have a little bit of a bias towards because I'm personally very good friends with one of their players, but as well as just having seen their first game of the last season, the very first game of that season, I had to, and they did a phenomenal job. I have very high expectations for them, and we know SplatSCAD Black. They are a tried and true top level team here in the CCA, so I also expect very good things here. And already a weapon I very much love and just very much enjoy is seeing the range blaster come out.
Ooh, yeah. So this is a couple of fun compositions, relatively safe picks as well. So definitely tried and true that we have seen at all different levels. But it's going to be that Stamper Nouveau that stands out the most to me here, just as kind of the very slight oddball pick in a meta-filled lobby.
Ooh, and it's just back and forth, concentrate out in mid already. SplatSCAD did go a few players down before GMU Patriots were able to get that Rainmaker, and they were able to run back already, but it just wasn't fast enough as now. GMU Patriots has a Trip Strikes, has the Rainmaker, and they took that Rainmaker to the first checkpoint already on top of 2 extra players knocked out. Make that 3!
Oh, and GMU gonna possibly get some big points on the board. That Booyah Bomb beautifully timed, though, to prevent a massive scoring push. And now this Rainmaker is going to be stalled at 61 points remaining. It's going to be GMU picking it up once again. Going to take this one just a little bit slower, seeing if they could ride the tails of this Kraken. But next, getting pushed really far back. This is basically a delayed wipe here. They need to go with this now. They will, finding it all the way up to the ramp, but getting caught by some mist. 19 points remaining. A beautiful, slow and steady push out of GMU Patriots.
First minute and a half in that game and you take it down to 19, that's a very, very solid push from GMU Patriots as SplatSCAD are forcing this Rainmaker to reset and get out of their side of the map in order to try and recuperate some of the damage that has been caused. But GMU is holding their ground. They have their Rainmaker already marching back to the other side of the map. SplatSCAD just struggling to try and flush them out as best they can, but no, it can't be done with the trade-out with the 10 attack, not the 10 attack, the V-shot and the pencil. But 3 goes down and a wipeout!
Ooh, that might do it. Typhlosion tried to make a move there, not able to get it. Demo Law gets the pop, but it's a lot of orange ink around this pedestal. SplatSCAD Black holding on for dear life, trying to clear everybody out. Finally does so. A couple of jumps coming in as well, but that's going to do it for this push. GMU Patriots, nearly 2.5 minute push to just bring this Rainmaker all the way down to 1 point remaining. Dark, you really can't get much better than that, especially on Scorch Rainmaker.
Taking it down to just 1 point remaining, that is a legitimate knockout scenario for SplatSCAD in order to win this. If they want to take this game right here, right now, they gotta have to take that Rainmaker to the final checkpoint. And with how aggressive, how forward GMU Patriots have been so far, that's gonna be a bit of a tough task for them. As SplatSCAD are just trying to make some leverage, make some room for them to actually get this push going, but GMU Patriots just holding their ground and not letting them through.
Yeah, but Kitsune's doing a great job right now of holding down the back line, even as a Stamper player, to get their teammates to jump back in. So fantastic preservation of life there. It's going to allow SplatSCAD Black to, despite going 3 down, they're holding control of mid. And the only enemy they have right now is the clock, because they're doing a great job of answering. They just need to, get into the right places at the right time and do it as fast as possible.
Right now, the position is definitely in favor for GMU Patriots. They have all the tempo in the world to play with right now. 2 minutes, not 2 minutes, a minute 20 seconds remaining. With that, such a huge lead, with SplatSCAD barely even getting 2 points on the board, they can play however aggressively they want, however defensively they want. They can stall it out. They have all these options in front of them for how to play out this game with the remainder final minute. And SplatSCAD is trying to break through their defenses to see exactly what's going to be their next play as we get a trade out on that first checkpoint. But no, GMU Patriots keeps those momentum going.
Man, Nex continues to make some big plays here. Oh, and the Rainmaker goes down. 40 seconds to play. It is not looking good for SplatSCAD Black in this particular game. Kitsune once again being the last one up there, and now gonna go down. It's 30 seconds to go, and GMU Patriots has a lot of specials in their arsenal, and it is just GMU Patriots trying to wait for this clock to expire so they can claim game 1.
Yes, most definitely. Time is ticking right now, and you do not have a lot of time to play with if you're SplatSCAD Black. As we head to the final 10 seconds counter, GMU Patriots is just often taking the Rainmaker back as far back as they go, like any potential possibility for a last-minute surprise, giving this first game to the GMU Patriots.
Wow, what a convincing game out of George Mason University. They did a wonderful job of just keeping the pressure up, like you said, Dark. It just did not seem like they were backing off on the gas at all. They were going to just keep pushing that Rainmaker. And finally, when they did get a little bit of pushback, they really just held it down around that pedestal. And SplatSCAD Black never even got to sniff the pedestal.
It's just a monumental, just aggressive push from GMU Patriots, heading into a just bastion of absolute defense from them. SplatSCAD, as good as they have it in the past, they just couldn't break through what GMU brought today, and they couldn't even get past that first checkpoint. It was such a just wonderful thing to see from GMU Patriots side. Not so if you're fans from the SplatSCAD Black side of this match today, but it's such a dominant opening. I'm intrigued to see exactly what SplatSCAD might be bringing the next game, to see exactly what they might do differently, if they're going to try and shake things up with their comp, to see if they can potentially find a weapon set that might be better into GMU Patriots.
Yeah, and given that these are now best of 3s, we are no longer in that Swiss play all 3. There is very, very little room for error. You're not just getting points anymore for winning games. There's no game 3 where it's like, hey, we might have lost the set, but we can still recover a few points. That's not the case at all. You have to win. It's win now or never. And SplatSCAD Block needs to come up with an answer quickly for GMU Patriots if they want a chance to stay in this game, stay in this tournament, and try to add more points early on to that circuit leaderboard.
Most definitely. It is a very tenuous situation they're in right now. For you mentioned right now, just right now, if they don't win this game here now, they're just done. That's it for them. And even though there is potentially other circuits that they could do well in, this first circuit, it could set up a lot of the tempo and a lot of the mentality of how you're gonna be playing through this season. So you do want to at least try to get a game off of GMU Patriots here, but it's just sometimes the unfortunate thing is that